Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews, looking at this week's episode of Smackdown Live. Again, the show started off with a minute's silence for all the victims of the Vegas shooting. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected in this situation. So the show started off with Renee Young in the centre of the ring conducting an interview with Shinsuke Nakamura. It's a very difficult thing for me because obviously we all know that Nakamura is not the best with his English, and let's be honest, the promo work he's been given has been a lot more difficult from what he had at NXT, where it was very much backstage interviews. This one here was in front of a main audience. I felt like he pulled it off quite well. But luckily enough, it didn't last as long as it needed to, and it was a short interview because the Singh brothers came out to introduce that Jinder Mahal was coming out. Jinder Mahal didn't come out through the main entrance. He attacked Nakamura from behind and started beating on him. Got into a bit of a brawl. Nakamura started pulling back and looked like he was about to beat the crap out of Jinder Mahal until the Singh brothers got involved again. And Jinder, again with his finisher, took out Nakamura. This is a good starting of promo work for Nakamura. Again, didn't need to be too long. It was a good little brawl. It's building up for what's going to happen at Hell in a Cell, and I look forward to seeing this match. The only downfall is we have now been confirmed that there's only going to be 2 Hell in a Cell matches, and unfortunately the WWE title is not going to be involved. So this is showing that it looks like Jinder could possibly get a win because the Singh brothers they're going to be involved in some way in this match. I was hoping that it would be a Hell in a Cell match so we could lock out the Singh brothers and actually have a good match, but it's not looking that good. Next up, we had a tag team match between Carmella and Naomi taking on Becky Lynch and Charlotte. For me, this was an on-off match. Becky looked really strong at the beginning. Then she got absolutely decimated by Natalya. Natalya and Carmella worked well together. Again, the heels always seem to work better as a tag team than the faces, which makes no sense because you'd think the faces would be always happy to work with each other because they're the good guys. But it seems nowadays the heels always feel like they're better at tag teaming. But yeah, you had Carmella and Natalya literally felt like they controlled the match. Obviously momentum changed when Charlotte got tagged in, and Charlotte controlled the whole match until Becky got taken out by Carmella when she hit her with back of her head with the Money in the Bank suitcase. It distracted Charlotte. Charlotte got knocked out by Natalya, back of her head as well, and then she got hit with a sharpshooter and tapped out. For me, again, you're not going to have too much of a fast match. This is giving Natalya some momentum for her match against Charlotte at Hell in a Cell. For me, it was okay. Becky looked the weakest, and she shouldn't look the weakest, but it makes sense that she is the weakest one in this tag team match because obviously Natalya is the champion, Charlotte's the challenger, and you got Carmella, who's Mrs. Money in the Bank. So obviously out of the 4, Becky isn't going to be the most important wrestler, unfortunately. I hate to say that because she is my favourite female superstar on Smackdown Live. Then we had Bobby Roode beating Mike Kanellis. Mike Kanellis is pretty much taking Hawkins' role as jobber on SmackDown Live now. It was a very quick match. It was literally spine buster and a glorious DDT, and that was it. And then we had Dolph Ziggler come out talking about his entrance, like, "Oh, Bobby, I'm glad you're here. I wanted to show off my, work on my entrance and blah blah blah, because that's all you are. You're just an entrance." Like, eh. Again, Ziggler, you're not gonna have Ziggler and Dolph. It's very similar to how Ziggler was when it was against Nakamura when he first came up from NXT, and this just felt very similar for me. Bobby Roode obviously being very entertaining, But he's a face. It's really weird to see Bobby Roode as a face because I'm so used to him on NXT being a heel. Now that he's on SmackDown Live on the main roster right now, he's being portrayed as a babyface, which is really weird. But yeah, the match itself was a squash match, and his interaction with Dolph Ziggler was quite good. I really enjoyed it. I thought both guys, they know what they're doing. They know their mic skills. They know how good they are. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing how this match is, because it could be one of the best matches on Hell in a Cell. Then we had the face-off between New Day and Usos. Just pretty much, it was a great promo. They literally went, look, let's be honest. Every time we've been on a show, even if it's been on the kickoff show, it's been on, the main show itself, we've stolen the show. And that is true. The tag team divisions right now have been literally stealing the show at every pay-per-view. The Usos did their great welcome to the Uso Penitentium, whatever it's called, and the New Day will like, look, we're not going to sell merch, we're not hit right now, we're going to tell you what's going to happen. And I thought it was a great match, even though they did mention the New Day underwear, which I laughed at a little bit, which I might buy some New Day underwear. But yeah, it was a good little promo work between both teams. Again, it's building up this match. WWE's done the right thing with the Usos and the New Day. They haven't made them fight too much outside the pay-per-views, so every time they have fought, it just feels that much more special. And this is definitely going to be, I hope, is the final chapter for a while between both teams, because this has been an absolute great rivalry, but now we need to start working on the tag team division, and let's be honest, we need it. After that, we did get announced that we will have a tag team match at the start of the kickoff show, which will be Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable taking on the Hype Brothers. Maybe we'll get some content on that later on, seeing if the Hype Brothers are going to split or they're going to turn heel. We might find out on the pay-per-view. I'm hoping they do. I hope something happens with the Hype Brothers, because they need something to happen for them. We also got announced that the Fashion Files won't be on this week's episode of Smackdown Live, and I was really looking forward to seeing that, but apparently it's getting moved to Hell in a Cell. Hopefully the Fashion Police will be back, because those guys are actually killing it, and they're one of my favourite tag teams in SmackDown Live. So I would hope to see them come back and actually start competing. Then we had Tye Dillinger versus Baron Corbin. This was like another match which we've seen quite often, but this is another idea I think SmackDown Live has done quite well. You can't have AJ Styles and Baron Corbin fighting out all the time. Yes, you can have them brawl sometimes, but Tye Dillinger has been put into this middle between both guys, and it has worked really well. It's made Tye look really good. It's made Baron look like a true heel. And you've had AJ Styles looking at like a courageous babyface champion who's looking out for everyone. Baron Corbin controlled most of the match. He looked really strong. It's just great. You want to see him have that. But on a surprise turn, which I was really shocked at, Tye Dillinger picked up the win with a small package. I was really surprised. I thought, my God, Baron was going mental. AJ cut a quick promo after the match, and it worked out really good. It was a great segment and a good match, and I look forward to, because I really feel like AJ Styles could bring out the best in Baron Corbin. And let's be honest, Hell in a Cell, that could be one of the matches which could steal it. Then we had again the Susan G. Komen segment where we look at breast cancer survivors, and it's a good partnership. Again, I mentioned it in our last Raw review. I'll mention it again now. It was good to see that. It's good to see WWE. They did it with the last charity one with Connor's Cure, and again they're working on it with this one, Susan G. Komen. So it's great. Yeah, for me, WWE. I don't have to say much else. Then we had Randy Orton versus Aiden English. again, you're not having the two guys who are taking part in the pay-per-view, you're having someone in the middle. And for me, it was a good squash match. Eddie English, literally, it felt like 10 seconds and RKO win. Randy Orton, for me, hopefully this is the last match he has as a babyface, because I do want him to turn soon. Because like in his interview with the ENC podcast, he has said he's not been too happy being a babyface, he would rather be a heel, and I totally agree with that. But yeah, it was a good little bit. Rusev looked like he was trying to sneak into the ring. Randy just turns around, does his thing, looks at Rusev in his face, and Rusev runs off. It was good. Then we had the main event of the night, which was the Kevin Owens and Shane O'Mac face-to-face kind of thing. Shane O'Mac comes out to the ring, calls out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is like, doesn't turn up. Shane's going, I thought he won't turn up, he's a coward. Next one we know, Kevin Owens is out in the crowd, WWE Universe, saying, Shane, no, I'm not going to come down there, and I've had enough of the city, and he got a massive boo. I mean, Shane decided to follow him, had a brawl, back, where they sell all the merch and stuff. Kevin Owens put him through a table. Kevin Owens walks back down to the ring, cuts a bit of a promo. Shane comes back out, beaten, bruised, walking down, and then like Kevin Owens is literally like, Shane, don't come back down here, because I called you a smart man, but you're proving me wrong, and I don't like to be proven wrong. Pretty much got back into a brawl in the middle of WWE Universe. Got a brawl back in the ring. They threw each other outside the ring, on the announcement table, everywhere. Absolutely. I mean, KO's headbutts Shane O'Mac just like he did with Vince McMahon. This is brilliant, in my opinion. Both guys are literally laying into each other, and KO just pretty much gets absolutely, he destroys Shane O'Mac. It looks like he beats the crap out of him, walks away, and that was it. So, how was SmackDown Live? There wasn't a lot of matches in this week's episode. Obviously, this is the go-home show before Hell in the Cell, and it felt like that. Obviously, we're getting the build-up, and it's only 5 days away, 4 days away now to Hell in the Cell, and it wasn't the best. It's not going to be the best at this point. We know that they're holding everything back till Sunday, and you can see that it did suffer a little bit because it was holding back a lot from what they're hoping is going to be a great pay-per-view. For me, it was a good build-up episode. We know which matches are going to happen, what's going to happen. We're getting 2 Hell in the Cell matches now. We know which titles are going to be defended. We know which matches are going to be on the kickoff show. So yeah, for me, it did what it needed to do as a go-home show. But the Shane O'Mac and Kevin Owens segment definitely stole it. Obviously, Raw's got the bigger thing now because they've got the Shield reunion, which looks like it's going to happen. But SmackDown Live definitely focus on the Kevin Owens, Shane O'Mac part was brilliant. And you can't take that away from him. This match looks like it could be absolutely great. Shane O'Mac is not a wrestler. Let's be honest, he's not a wrestler. But when you've got a match like that, I'm looking forward to it. So, that's my thoughts of SmackDown Live this week. Obviously, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about SmackDown Live, so please leave a comment below. If you do like our videos, please like and subscribe. You can follow me at Twitter at Boise88. We will be doing a reactions video of Hell in the Cell. I will have my special guest. Well, he's not a special guest. He's my co-host of the show when he's actually around. Mr. J will be here next week on possibly Monday morning. Well, not Monday morning. Monday we'll be doing our reactions video. So, if you guys have a great time at Hell in the Cell, and I'll see you next week.